Hello, Studio 108 community. I'm so glad that you clicked in because I'm sitting here with Margo. And Margo and I spend a lot of time in here.
A lot of time.
A lot of time. We spend a lot of time on these chairs right where we are right now with TV trays, with our laptops, kind of like back and forth. I try to make 2 or 3 mistakes with everything we do. So Margo has to do it again.
So we can spend more time in here.
So we can spend more time talking to each other. And it's like an editing, like one task is to get everything up and running, but the bigger task is just like the editing of it and the checking for details. And I'm so lucky because Margo has like this magic way of keeping a list of all the things that I'm prattling out to her, and she checks them off. But somewhere on that laptop, she had another list going on that I knew like nothing about. So I'm sitting down with her today because I want to know all about this glue. She's got a new product that's out. We want to find out a little bit about the background behind your thought stream and your education and like what brought you to put these pieces together. We want to find out like what this product is and how it works. And then we want to get us some. So introducing, drum roll, Margo.
Hi. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So excited to be here. I've always wanted to be on podcasts.
It's
perfect.
It's like
Yeah.
the restaurant.
Yeah.
I love it. So, you've had this going on. What was the seed behind this? Like, when did you think this is something I want to do?
Yeah. Well, when I started practicing hot yoga, I'm really sweaty, so even not hot yoga is a very sweaty experience for me. So I had like just a regular yoga mat that you get at like TJ Maxx or something, and I kept slipping, and I thought maybe if I get, one of those fancy sticky mats, like it'll be better. And it's better, but I was still slipping because I sweat a lot. So I was like, there's gotta be something. I looked online, there's like products that are like chalk based and things like that, but I didn't like the chalky feeling. It didn't give me like a grip, like that sticky mat grip.
Yeah, and you know what else about the chalk?
Yeah.
Because people will use that in here sometimes. There's chalky prints all over the
Yeah,
floor and
I
everything.
didn't
It makes
like
a
that.
big mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you
So-
for not doing chalk.
Yeah, so I hated it. I tried it in my house and I didn't like it. So I wanted something that had like that stick that a new mat has.
You gotcha, like,
Yeah. Almost like a beeswaxy kind of.
yeah, it's not gummy.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's got a grip to it.
Yeah. So I couldn't find anything that did that. So I was like, well, maybe I can make it. And that's where it started. It was mostly a project for myself and my own practice. And
Okay, so if you're sitting at home, you're thinking, I need to make something to keep my hands from slipping during yoga. Like, where do you go for that? Did you go to the kitchen? Did you go outside to the garden? Were you thinking like, where did you go to find something that would
yeah.
stick?
Well, I went to the internet.
Okay.
Searched far and wide, and thought, like how is the yoga mat sticky? Like what makes that sticky at first? And I couldn't, that's like a very chemical process. So like I didn't want that because I wanted it to be natural and not harm anything, and it can go on any surface really. So I just kind of made a list of my little wish list, and then I started talking to people like, do you know anyone that's a chemist, or do you know anyone that makes things like solutions? And I got connected with a couple people, and I got a lot of no's. I got a lot of there's no way to do this. You'd need like a factory, and you'd need to put a sealant on a mat. Like I'd have to make my own mats, and I was like, no, I think there's got to be a way to do this. So I went on the internet again, and I found someone that's a chemist, and I just sent them a message.
You didn't know them.
No.
You went to like an Ivy League school too.
I went to Georgetown. So
not pretty much.
Yeah.
So you think you'd have like connections, but what did you study there?
I studied business, so marketing and operations. So
And
I wasn't.
So you didn't really mingle with people of other genres where you could like meet a chemist.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I was just asking everyone, my siblings, cousins, and my grandpa. I was like, do you know anyone that does this? And, it was tough. It was definitely tough to find.
Okay, so you found a chemist. Anyone local?
Well, I tried to find someone local, and they were not, on board with it. So I found someone. They're actually from Georgia. Yeah, and they were really great. They were really helpful. And when I told them about it, I was kind of expecting the same response that I got of like, you can't do this. Like that's why it doesn't exist. And he was actually more excited than me, I think. Like, he was like,
does he do yoga?
No, he said his girlfriend does.
Oh, that's
so
cute.
yeah. And he said basically he was just really excited about it, and he's like, I've never worked on anything like this. He does like cosmetics and things like that.
Oh, cool.
So he had like the whole natural background. He knew
Wow,
kind
what a
of,
find.
yeah.
Can you say his name?
Yeah, his name is Spencer Horns, I think is how you say the last name.
Shout out to Spencer for being just groovy in Georgia.
Yes. So yeah, it was really cool. I met with him a couple times online, told him everything I wanted, talked about, how long it would take, what the process would look like, and it was just a lot of back and forth, a lot of him sending me Amazon lists of what I needed to send him, and he'd mess around with it, and then he'd send me the product, and then I'd test it, and kind of get back to him. We had a whole spreadsheet. We love spreadsheets. So we had a whole spreadsheet.
Google share spreadsheet.
Yeah. And I'd put in like, oh, this one smelled a little too strong, or this one was not as sticky as I wanted, and we went back and forth like that for months. And then we came up with one that I thought was perfect. It was what I was looking for, so.
Outstanding.
That's what I landed
Okay, what's in it?
It is an alcohol solution, and then it's just pine resin. So that's it, simply.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it dissolves. You have to dissolve the resin for a very long time with a very loud mixer. And then
Gotcha.
I add just a
Do you do
lavender.
it at home?
Mhm.
He gave you like recipe.
Yeah, I gave me the recipe. So I got a special mixer that's really, really sticky now, and I have to like put it in the corner, cover it up because the fumes are kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then yeah, just put a little essential oil in there for a smell.
Oh, you could make like different custom smells.
Yeah.
So if for your birthday you want a custom you smell for your Yoga Glue, you could talk to Margo about being like just custom for you.
Definitely, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So I love it. I use it every time I practice. I just spray it right on my hands after I'm done like with integration and child's pose, and I'm ready to like
Gotcha. When
stick.
you're ready to grip.
And then I spray it on and just go
And does
from
it,
there.
I'm sorry.
That's
Does
okay.
it, I'm so bored with you.
Yeah.
I'm not breathing well. Does it wash right off your hands, or do you feel like it wears off as you practice a little?
Yeah,
Just
it kind of wears
naturally?
off. Usually by the time I'm winding down my practice, like, getting into the final poses, there'll maybe be a little bit like right in between my fingers. I can feel a little stick, but it's not like it's wash your hands after and it's gone.
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of perfect. It's like everything I wanted. Yeah.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
All right, well now, Miss Business Degree, what are we doing with this?
Well,
I mean, we're selling it at the studio. We're selling it at the studio. It's on the shelf. There's a QR code. If you could zap it and Venmo Margo directly, that helps us because it helps her keep the price down and get herself started. It lets me support her without any expectations so that she can have success. So I think, what are you pricing? $12? Am I right?
$12, yeah.
$12
for 2 months.
So I mean, come on. And it's a nice little sticker that you got and everything. So you bottle those at home.
Bottle it at home.
Where else are you selling?
Online, really. I have an Instagram account for it, so taking like messages, and then an email too, and just trying to spread the word locally, hopefully getting a website soon.
Well, did you know, that there's someone kind of close to you, like 3 feet away, that knows like a lot of yoga studio owners?
Yeah.
A lot of yoga studio owners.
Yes.
So we have to talk about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
I would love to.
Yeah, let's get you connected with some of the local studio owners.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Let's
Gonna have
see
to fire up the mixer.
No, I haven't practiced hot yoga. Like I haven't been on that kind of mat in a long time because, my Kundalini practice is my everyday.
Yeah.
And I practiced for a lot of years. Now I'm going to tell you this story just because, there's time. We can have a story, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the story of the first yoga mat?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, she does. But in 200 TT, I know this. But it was, gosh, in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
When there was a student of BKS Iyengar, am I right?
Yeah.
Who was always sweaty in the hands, and Iyengar would get really mad at her because her hands were so sweaty, and she would try all these different things, and they would use like a rug for yoga. They would just use a blanket or a rug, literally like the 8x10 Oriental rug that you picture them having in India in their parlors and stuff. That's what they did yoga on. And so sometimes when you see the old pictures, you'll see like a rug out in the yard and someone doing yoga on it. But her name was Farmer something, wasn't it? Somebody Farmer. Yeah, Farmer or something.
Yeah,
she was British. So she went to Germany and she found this carpet underlay. It must have been like the cushioning for the carpet that you put underneath your carpet back in that time. And she noticed it had a little stick to it, and so she used that as a yoga mat, and then came back to England and manufactured the first yoga
So
mat,
smart.
which was like 80s, 83 by the time like yoga mats were being manufactured. It wasn't even that long ago, like 83. Like it's a long time to you.
That was
It's
shocking.
not a long time to me. Okay, I was like graduating from high school in 83 about the time they were making yoga mats. So it's like kind of crazy that as old as yoga is, the mats are not that old. But yeah, other really great yogis have had sweaty hands.
Oh yeah.
And invented really cool things. So first the yoga mat, then the Yoga Glue. And it's Yoga Glue GLU, you guys.
Yeah.
GLU, that was clever.
Thank you.
I know, are you so pleased?
I am, I'm really pleased. Well, I was like, there's gotta be also a way to not pay like $100+ for a yoga mat every time you wear through it.
Oh.
And still be able to stick, you know? So that was kind of something I was thinking about too, because when I first started, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it that much. I don't know if I wanna invest in a mat, and there's so many options. So I thought it would be helpful for that too.
Yeah, helpful for the people that maybe just are getting started, or maybe they just like their Target yoga mat and they don't wanna buy a $100 one that flips a little bit better.
It distracts me, then I get angry when I'm practicing. Yeah.
It takes a lot of muscle, you guys. If you don't have a quality mat, or you haven't tried Margo's Glue, you don't have a solution for this, it takes a lot of muscle to stabilize yourself on a yoga mat for the poses that we do. And if you're having to do all that work yourself, like if the mat is slippy and you have to like somehow hold yourself so you don't slip, it's really tiring and frustrating.
Yeah.
So a good gripper mat, or something on your hands and probably on your feet. You can really do
I
your
use,
feet
just
too.
gonna say, I use it on my feet because when I'm in like a warrior pose, my back foot is slippery, it starts to slide and slide, and then my inner thighs are like screaming, trying to hold
hold
together.
them. See, no one wants inner thighs screaming.
No.
You might, but you really don't. But you might.
Yeah.
But so anyway, that's a really great solution. I'm glad you brought that up. So dual purpose.
Yeah.
I remember just spending, like, it was such a science, the slipping of like using the yogi toe. And the yogi towels were called yogi toes. And like you would fold it back until your hands got kind of moist, because when your hands are dry, the mat will hold it really well. You'd like fold it back, and then once your hands got moist, you'd fold it up. And then sometimes the towel would slip on the mat, but the hands would hold the towel. So you'd be slipping anyway, but the towel would be
stretching it
and
out.
then some people like spray water on their towel so that they don't have to wait for their hands to get moist.
Yeah, I started doing
It's
that.
such an art.
Yeah, and I thought there's gotta be a better way.
Gotta be a better way.
Just spraying water on, and then hoping for the best. Yeah.
So there is. Can I smell it?
Yeah. It'll smell a bit like alcohol.
At the very first.
At first, yeah, and as it dries, you smell the lavender.
Are you sure you want
It
to
might
open
be.
it?
It might be a little glued shut.
It works. The lid is glued shut. Yeah. Okay. Squirt, squirt. We'll try it another time. I love it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
I want to do everything to support you. So
thank you.
Seriously.
I know we have one in the studio.
This is a great example of benefits and wins from your yoga practice, right, Margo? Because would you have necessarily been of the mindset to create a product? I mean, it may be a different product than Yoga Glue if you weren't doing yoga, but like, don't you think your practice really helps you honor yourself and believe in yourself and kind of have the energy to move ideas forward?
Yeah, well, it empowered me too. I was like, if I can get through a practice slipping and sliding, like of course I can do it. I was confident in myself, so that kind of gave me the push to start reaching out and asking people about it and getting back up when they said no, and keep going till I found someone that would do, what I was hoping we could do. So that's all from my practice.
And all from pine resin, which is completely natural.
Yeah, I was excited.
That's
very excited.
All right, be proud.
Thank you.
Yay, and thank you, yoga, and thank you for the studio community that comes to just support the process of all of us, because, we're kind of stumbling along, editing for each other and believing in each other and cheering for each other. So, yay. Yoga Glue. All of the contact information is in the notes below, so be sure you scroll down and check the details so that you can get you some.
Yeah, great.
Thanks, Margo.
Thank you. Thanks for
following. Thank you so much for following.
Thank you.
Namaste, you guys.